Don't hurt the goose. That is a saying that former Bungie employee and board member and composer Marty O'Donnell would often say regarding game development. The saying means that the goose, which could either mean Bungie or Destiny, is what lays the golden eggs or makes a lot of money. The saying was used to say that publishers should respect their developers and developers should respect their properties. There are many videos on how Activision did not respect their goose, which was Bungie. But I want to go over how Bungie hurt their goose, which was Destiny, because a lot of what is wrong with the game is the fault of Bungie, not Activision. This can be seen all throughout the franchise since before the release of Destiny 1, and can be seen all throughout Destiny 1 and 2, with each game being full of missed opportunities. The missed opportunities regarding Destiny start before the game even launches, with the firing of Marty O'Donnell and the complete rewrite of Destiny's story. Firing Marty got rid of possibly the best game audio composer, and while Bungie kept making good audio for their games, the soundtracks are still nothing to compare to those made by Marty O'Donnell. I mean, just look at Destiny 2's soundtrack compared to Destiny 1's. While Destiny 2 still has some good songs, majority of them are still inferior to Destiny 1's. While the music is still pretty good in Destiny, the same cannot be said for the writing. After Bungie scrapped their original Destiny story, the lead writer understandably was not happy and left the company. Bungie still has not recovered from this, as their original writer was responsible for the Halo stories, which many people would consider to be the best first-person shooter stories to date, and the stories of Destiny can barely even be considered stories due to how bad they are. Bungie had some of the best talent in the industry, and what do they do with this great opportunity? They completely destroy it, and while talking about great opportunity, Marty recently in an interview with a Halo YouTuber known as Hidden Xperia discussed some terms about Bungie's contract with Activision, and according to him, the only way Activision could interfere with Destiny would be if the board allowed them to. So any Activision interference is entirely Bungie's fault. But anyways, this is all stuff outside of the game itself, so let's talk about missed opportunities within Destiny and Destiny 2. First of all, Bungie created this really cool and beautiful shared world, but then did not allow any way to communicate and coordinate with other players within the game. This basically turned all other players you see in the game into bots, as there would be no difference if Bungie just put a bunch of bots in the world with player names. This game could have definitely been something special if Bungie had simply added voice chat or a ping system to the open world. That alone would have greatly improved the quality of said open world. Another massive missed opportunity within the game is the tower and other similar social spaces. Social spaces in Destiny in their current form are basically just really annoying to navigate menus, which is a really big shame since these social spaces could have actually been something cool. I mean, first of all, there should have at least been a voice chat option so you can actually meet the people you're in the tower with. But beyond that, let's go over a bunch of other things that could have been implemented into the tower to make it more than a glorified menu. First of all, there should have been player customizable homes from the launch of D1. This way you could show off your gear you're not using and accomplishments within the game. Imagine if, depending on what seals you had in Destiny 2, you could get like icons on your door to your room or something, so like any players that walk by know that you're Dredgen or you're... I can't think of any others, but you get the idea. It'd be a really cool and unique customizable feature to the game that would make the towers an actual worthwhile place to visit, outside of just treating them like a menu. Another idea I had that, while not at all as important as customizable homes, would be a bar or restaurant that allows players to play mini-games and watch live Crucible matches together. This would allow players to meet up with other Guardians within the tower, kind of naturally. I mean, like you're watching a Crucible match or something and you start up a conversation about it. It'd be a really cool thing that would really enhance the social aspects of these quote-unquote social spaces. While the bar/restaurant idea that I just talked about would be kind of a nice amenity, something that I think also should have been in the game from the start is a player trading or gambling casino in which players could either gamble currencies or gear pieces with other players, possibly depending on which team wins a Crucible match or just playing traditional casino games. And finally, another change that Bungie could add to the tower is to bring back factions, similar to how they were in Destiny 1, where you can rank up and get packages that contain gear from them. But then to add another layer to factions, they could also change how vendors react to different faction members. Kind of like a very simple and rudimentary reputation system. So for instance, if I pledge to Future War Cult, maybe Zavala is like more in favor of them, so he gives them like a discount or something like that. or he's really against dead orbit, so he makes them pay higher. Stuff like that, and it could like kind of be a background, like political scene, kind of behind the scenes. Maybe depending on what faction wins the faction rallies, that can also affect players standing with different vendors. I don't know, it'd just be a cool addition to the tower that would make it a much more engaging thing than the current form of, again, as I said, just a menu that you walk around in. And those are just 4 things I came up with off the top of my head, and I did not really go in depth with them because I don't need to. All of you can imagine your own list of things that would improve the tower, and while some things may be obscure and Bungie may not have thought of them, there's no way they did not think of at least player houses and voice chat, and the non-inclusion of them in the tower is just sheer laziness on their part. While missing one of these features is obviously not very important, when I list them all out like this, it really shows how much unused potential the Destiny franchise has, and I thought of like all of these ideas in a matter of minutes. So either Bungie is brain dead or they are incompetent, but the thing is, it doesn't matter which one they are, because either way, the game lacks meaningful content, and the only reason Destiny has remained as prominent as it has is because there's simply no other game like it, with its closest competition being The Division or Borderlands. But these games are different enough from Destiny, with Borderlands not being similar enough to like the shared world looter shooter environment, and The Division is a third-person shooter, which cuts off a large portion of the fanbase already. Just because of these differences, they don't give Destiny enough competition to warrant Destiny actually having to innovate and improve their game. Honestly, I really hope Halo Infinite is similar to Destiny, as the rumors are suggesting, and from what we just saw a couple days ago at the reveal event for Halo Infinite, it does appear to be somewhat similar to to Destiny than any previous Halo. So hopefully it'll finally give Bungie some competition, and we can get some actual innovation to the same content that we've been playing since 2014. But that is really just wishful thinking, and realistically, Destiny will never live up to its full potential, and that is a shame because there's just so much unused potential here. Like, Destiny could be the best game ever made, realistically. Like, there's just so much stuff that Bungie could do with the world that they just aren't doing. For instance, the Plague Lands in Destiny 1, instead of just making that another patrol zone, they could have made that like a Darkness Zone PvP area similar to the Darkness Zone from The Division. And that would have made that patrol zone actually unique instead of just the exact same patrol zone as every other area with a different coat of paint. But I'm gonna stop myself before I go on another rant. You all understand the point of this video. It's to show that Destiny is full of unused potential, and I just really wish Bungie would utilize it. But anyways, that's all I have for today's video, and I would love to hear what you think the biggest missed opportunities in Destiny are in the comments down below. So until next time, goodbye.